It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA. We're joined by the legends Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Chicago Bulls up against the San Antonio Spurs at AT&T Center. Not a lot to complain about for this San Antonio group right now. They dropped the first matchup against this squad. They'll try to even the series in tonight's game. Both of these teams we're about to watch, slower pace, lots of half-court, very methodical. Shaq, what do you think is the key to making that style of play work?
Well,
it's time to get away. It's time to get away from you. It's time to get away. It's time to get away from you. You brought a lot of money, but me, I'm catching tidy tummy. You make me sleep. I try and try, and I start to be sensible. You know what I mean? And so it's time to get away. It's time to get away.
it's home to the Alamo and the Spurs, San Antonio, Texas, as we bring you an interconference rivalry here at the AT&T Center. Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at 2K Sports. And do we have a present for you today? This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. Taking a look at Chicago, winning their last 3 games. They'd like to make that 4 in a row here tonight.
Well, the streak is still going, but right now they're facing a team that's going to make it tough for that streak to continue. We'll see if they've got enough moxie and enough confidence and enough poise to win another one.
Yeah, and I bet they have a whole lot of confidence right now. I mean, I'm sure they feel like they can beat anybody, but you're right. This could be the toughest test for them yet to keep this streak alive.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So for Chicago right now, Rose is the one with Butler. Is the 2. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5, and it's Mirotic in at the 3. Nikola Mirotic, drafted as a late first-rounder, Clark, back in 2011. The Spanish star finally made his rookie debut in the NBA last season, and it was worth the wait.
It sure was, Kevin. I mean, once he started to get consistent PT, I mean, he was remarkable. Can run like the wind for a big guy, not that strong, but more aggressive than you'd think.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
And Leonard gets it to go.
Well, what a smart pass that time by Aldi.
For Chicago, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Rose kicks to Gibson. Right side Gasol. Back to Gibson. And stolen by Aldridge. Here's Leonard. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Parker with no one around. No good on the triple. And Chicago has possession. It's a 3-point game. Their last encounter was in Chicago.
Yeah, a really close game between these two in that last matchup. It took a total team effort for them to get the win.
It sure did, and they got a lot of scoring from their bench, Greg, and I think that really was the crucial difference.
And here is Mirotic. What a tremendous game he played against New York. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. So many people overlooked Pau Gasol prior to last season, seemed to think that Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game, and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
Listen, there's no doubt he feels like they should have the lead, but that miss will keep it all tied up.
Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel. Bulls have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
Duncan outside. Leonard dishes to Green. Leonard against Mirotic. Just 5 on the clock. And Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got his second basket.
And with the skill set that Pau has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact.
That one goes. Count it.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Duncan outside. Back to Green. To the inside. Kicks it out to Leonard. Aldridge inside. Gibson on him. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for one. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Portis, he's checked in for Gibson. McDermott comes in for Mirotic. Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Butler. And Brooks subbed in for Derrick Rose. And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting, his rebounding. As we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
Here's Mills. Here's West. It's deflected. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Heinrich's got the ball. Gasol passes to Portis. Gasol kicks to Heinrich. The three-pointer off the mark.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
And when he's open like that, you don't see him miss those looks very often.
Aldridge can't get it to go.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Now here's Brooks. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Ahead. Here's Mills. The shot's good on the assist by West. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
And, guys, I think each team knows they can win this game. Just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Or LaMarcus Aldridge. Heinrich, right side. Gasol dishes to Heinrich. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. San Antonio's gone 1 or 2 from long range in the first quarter. And Diaw kicks to Simmons. Connects from three-point range. Simmons got himself on the board with 3 there.
This has been a thriller. You cannot say enough about the way these two teams have competed.
All indications, Greg, are that this game is going down to the wire. I mean, I'd be surprised, actually shocked, if it ended any other way. You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
It's deflected. Heinrich with the steal. Beyond the arc. And that one's good. Heinrich's got 7. 26 seconds left in the first. Mills passes to Simmons. And Mills kicks to Diaw. Spurs passing it around. Left side, West. And he gets the bucket. West has got his first points in this one. It has been nip and tuck through the first half.
No kidding. I mean, neither team has been able to hold the lead for any length of time, guys.
So close.
Exactly, guys. The way it's seesawed back and forth, unbelievable. And, Kevin, that's a little taste of what can happen when the big guy takes it up strong.
Well, I guess he does have it in him, man, to get up off the ground when he needs to and rock it to the rim.
Yeah, you know, guys, he's never going to elevate that high, but he compensates and makes up for it.
And we had the chance to catch up with Greg Popovich, and he talked about how he felt Tony Parker ranks among the league's best point guards.
to be in the conversation, I think.
Pop breaking it down and telling it like it is as usual, Clark. You got to love having a guy like that as your coach.
Without question. I mean, you have no idea how huge that is for a player to get that kind of support and backing from his coach. Is Tony Parker a great all-star and champion? In my book, absolutely, without question. But would he have reached that level without Greg Popovich as his coach? I think even Tony would tell you, probably not.
And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. And we're ready to get going once more. The players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
You know what? They're dominating on the backboards. They have controlled the paint thus far.
Flexing their muscles down low, and they've limited second chances too, guys.
Parker and Green are the guard pairing. The ageless ones, Diaw and Duncan, are down low. And it's Leonard in at the 3. That's the San Antonio 5.
You know, not really a significant margin in terms of them rebounding, but enough to get the job done.
Yeah, but one more advantage in the stat column, and that's what's translated to this league. And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishing.
Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down to just 4 points in the bucket from Leonard.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark gets a...
Replay. Where's the fucking charge? That is bullshit. This is bullshit. I have my feet set and everything.
No. This is you getting crossed the fuck up. Oh.
Where's the charge?
What? Look, no, I don't touch you, man. Look, the ball's over here, and you just fall over. Yeah, I pushed you sort of like here, but you'd already started falling, and then I just sunk this.
Strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
The drive by Green. Great D that time from Gibson. The Bulls leading by 8. Butler kicks to Gibson. Here's Mirotic. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. And they're on the break. Here's Leonard. Rose with the block. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession.
And let's check out stats for Rose. How his last 10 games have gone. Averaging 17 points per game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And those numbers, solid, not spectacular. And sometimes what you see is what you get.
He certainly knows his role, and he gives you some good minutes. That's really all you can expect from him at this point.
LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Boris Diaw. Butler kicks to Gibson. A rebound by the Spurs. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
And in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got.
And that one's good. Parker. Chicago calls timeout. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
So I think three-point shooting was the key, the catalyst, if you will, in that game.
Yeah, it's really a nice weapon to have because it makes things easier for you in other parts of your offense when you can knock down the three.
Manu Ginobili's checked in for the Spurs. Mills comes in for Daniel Green. Mirotic has a wide open look. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. 13 points for Nikola Mirotic. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row, twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
In transition, here come the Bulls. And slam dunk by Butler.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Gibson. Here's Portis. Another 3 for Chicago.
If you look at the Spurs and how they avoid losing streaks, I mean, most teams losing 4 in a row wouldn't be such a big deal. It's only a big deal for the Spurs because they're so consistent year in and year out.
So for the Bulls, Pau Gasol's checked in for Gibson. Heinrich comes in for Mirotic. And it's Brooks in for Rose. Mills dishes to Aldridge. Pass to Mills. Aldridge against Gasol. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge. Around halfway through the season, and a chance here to recap where all the teams in the West sit in the standings. You take a look at the Warriors. Quite a season they've assembled here, guys. Perched up there in first place and playing terrific basketball game in and game out. And, of course, the San Antonio Spurs. Right behind them, just 1 spot down.
And, you know, for the Spurs, for me, they've taken the league by storm this season. I felt like they were maybe a year ahead of schedule in terms of being an elite group. But you look at them right now, and here they are.
And it's no fluke. I mean, they've earned that elite label with one astonishing performance after another.
4 on the clock. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. Nice shot by Portis.
And guys, for the Spurs, a big reason they rarely go on losing streaks is that they have no bad matchups. One of only 3 teams in the NBA last year to defeat every other NBA team. Winning for this group is just second nature.
The shot by Butler, nobody around. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Spurs passing it around. Will it go? The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. They get Pau Gasol.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Clark, maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
It could be, Kevin. I mean, a dunk like that can sometimes get an opponent reeling.
Brooks, the pass to Gasol. Heinrich kicks to Butler. Aldridge against Gasol. Pass to Portis. And Aldridge comes over to help.
Hey, kid, you ready?
I wasn't even like pump faking anything.
Bulls have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
You know, the numbers from the line, guys, are close to where they were last year. But just a tad worse, so not too bad.
16 seconds left in the first half. And the stuff by West.
I tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
Shoots from the baseline. And that's not going to go. And that concludes the first half. Bulls lead by 14. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Coach, you're going to have to climb a bit of a hill here in the second half. What do you...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. You know, Mirotic has been exceptional here, guys.
Yeah, created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
Tipping off the second half, here's Fred Hoiberg's 5. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. And it's Mirotic in at the 3 slot.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
And every once in a while, he'll show up and give you some great moves around the hoop.
And guys, Tim Duncan still dominant after 18 years. You know, he's reshaped his body. He has gotten a brand new diet, which he says has had a huge benefit. We saw it in the playoffs last year, Greg. I think, you know, he probably was one of the top 5 overall performers in last year's playoffs.
No doubt about it. We continue to write this guy off, Kevin, and he just continues to defy Father Time. I mean, there was a point where he was starting to feel the wear and tear, especially in his knees, but being the competitor he is, he decided to dictate to his body rather than letting his body dictate to him.
Inside, here's Aldridge. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Chicago calls timeout.
I tell you what, at this point in his career, it is safe to say, actually has been for a while, that Duncan might be one of the best power forwards ever. He is, clearly. 5 rings, 50-win seasons, his whole career. The complete package on the box.
Pass to Gibson. Rose kicks to Gasol. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
Not a good idea to let him get such good position in the paint.
It's more than a bad idea. It's real trouble. I mean, he'll make that 10 out of 10 times.
And finished off by Rose.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
And Duncan, who briefly contemplated retiring after last season, showed in the playoffs, Greg, he is still very much at the top of his game.
Listen, Tim Duncan, for me, is the greatest power forward to ever play the game, although Pop will tell you he's actually a center in the power forward's body. I mean, what a great matchup. Yeah, how great was he, I should say, in the matchup against the Clippers last season. And throughout his career, he has been more consistent than a clock. I mean, it doesn't matter the year or who he's up against. This guy just finds a way to leave his mark on
Whoa. Goodness. Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
My goodness, that was almost a circus-like dunk.
San Antonio calls timeout.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
Aldridge a screen. Leonard attacking. Green dishes to Duncan. Aldridge's shot is good. Aldridge has got 6. And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions and finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Duncan, the pass to Aldridge. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. Duncan's got 4 assists in the game.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
Here's Gasol. Tim Duncan grabs the miss. Duncan's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint. No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this.
Rose kicks to Heinrich. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. McDermott. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Kawhi Leonard.
And guys, what a strange rookie campaign for Dougie McBuckets. I mean, he entered the draft as a polished sharpshooter. The Bulls traded up in the first round to get him, and he ended up playing 9 minutes a game over the course of last season.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Portis, he's checked in for Chicago. Brooks comes in for Rose. Now here's Diaw. Defense right on him. Got a hand on it.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
On the topic of Doug McDermott, one of the most decorated college players in recent history, and Clark, he called a lot of his games.
Yeah, enjoyed watching him play, and I still think he has a bright future. Just never found any real rhythm. Averaged only 3 points a game, but he didn't get much playing time, so look for him to bounce back in the years going forward. Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
It's stolen by West, and the Spurs pushing it up now. Ginobili leading the charge.
Quick hands on the steal, and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Here's Diaw, and he dumps it down.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
There's 14 seconds left in the third quarter. Brooks dishes to Heinrich. The pass to Portis. The baseline J. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Portis has got 9.
They're going to have to come up with a better matchup. This guy just too much speed.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Bulls out front, up by 15. And we're just moments. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know.
But not with these guys, I won't.
The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Duncan out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in at the small forward. That's the San Antonio 5.
I don't know why we throw to that guy. I thought it was just always going to pass to...
Brooks. No good on the quick 3.
Oh, my goodness. That's like temporary insanity right there.
Do you think he realizes we've actually got a game, a serious game taking place here? I have my doubts, partner.
And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Bulls.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Gets the three-pointer to fall.
I'm just going to shoot with Brooks.
So it's the Spurs now. They trail by 16. Following this one, they get to host the Rockets. And that game concludes a 5-game homestand. Here's Duncan, and it's good on the assist by Parker. 6 points for Duncan.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assist. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
It would have been something to see if he could hit that shot from that deep.
Greg, you know it. I know it. There aren't very many guys that can hit from out there. But he is one of them. That's the kind of range he has.
And with that, the Chicago lead is cut down now to just 12 points with the basket from Kawhi Leonard. Brooks. And again, no good by Chicago.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Aldridge wide open. He fires. And stolen by Butler.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Brooks. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
Every time Brooks gets involved.
Gasol is checked in for Brooks.
With the other players, I didn't want to get them cold.
Timeout Spurs.
Well, like Brooks, it doesn't matter.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And, you know, guys, Taj Gibson now has 6 full seasons in the NBA. Already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He didn't exactly take it easy on them, saying, how much do you want it? Don't tell me. Show me out there. We have to play better. We have to play harder if we're going to come back. Guys?
Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 20 years at USC. In the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, you know, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
Rose kicks to Gasol. Back to Rose. He dishes it to Gasol. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Rebound by Rose.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the boards.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game.
That's his 3rd personal foul. Second team foul.
Oh, I didn't even do that.
Here's Leonard, and he drew the blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard hasn't been in the league for a long time, but he's feeling right at home. Said last season he wants to remain a Spur for life.
Rose gets a wide open look, and it's off target. Not sure why he took that one. Green kicks to Leonard. And there's the foul. Goes on Taj Gibson. That's foul number 2 for him. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for the Spurs. And Chicago also making a switch. Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Mirotic. Leonard kicks to Aldridge. Back to Leonard. Right side Aldridge. Knocks it loose. Gibson with the steal. In transition, here come the Bulls. And the rejection by Leonard. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Up the floor. And Butler sends it back. And good. He got the English that time as it falls. Butler's got 9 points now in just the second half. And for Leonard to hear players say that a lot, but rarely before they reach the end of their rookie contract.
Yeah, I think Leonard just realizes what a special situation he found himself in. I mean, he is the complete package as a player and custom made for how the Spurs like to play and do things.
Kawhi Leonard with another great season last year earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times.
Here's Gibson. Gasol passes to McDermott. 3-pointer. Cannot hit. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Ahead, here's Parker. Rejected by Gasol. Hits it despite the hand. Great, strong finish. And he'll go to the line for one more. That one on Rose.
And, you know, for Leonard, you can add that Defensive Player of the Year award to his hardware list, and that puts him in elite company, one of only 3 players to win Defensive Player of the Year and Finals MVP. The other 2, Jordan and Olajuwon.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
On defense, San Antonio. They've allowed just 7 points here in the 4th quarter. Rose kicks to Butler. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Butler's got 4 points in the quarter.
And for Leonard, winning the Defensive Player of the Year didn't change him at all. I mean, he received a car for winning that award and gave it to charity. Went out of his way to thank his teammates during his acceptance speech. I mean, I think it speaks of his character and really the impact that Popovich has had on him and that entire Spurs team.
.121 left here in the 4th quarter. Duncan dishes to Leonard. Some solid defense from Butler. The Bulls leading by 11. Rose passes to Gibson. It's stolen by Duncan. Here's Ginobili, and Butler sends it back.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces, as it appears it'll be a nice win here for Chicago.
The sheer volume of 3-pointers was the deciding factor tonight, it seemed.
Yeah, they sink one, Kevin, and then they do it again. It worked.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
With the victory tonight, they'll take the 2nd game just as they took the first between these 2 teams, moving their record to 2-0 with 1 game left against the Spurs.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Butler.
Ready?
You can do a lot to change a game other than scoring, and it was his quick hands on the defensive end that put them in the driver's seat.
Leonard against Gasol. Now here's Leonard. Defense right on him, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
That's his 3rd personal. The team's 5th.
Oh, the fans have gone home.
Chicago with the ball. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
Spurs ball. Manu Ginobili.
Just too much of a deficit to overcome.
Just not enough clicks and ticks left on that clock in this one, Greg.
Here's West. No good there off the double clutch. Brooks, it's deflected. To the middle. Here's Mills. The shot's good on the assist by West.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Chicago calls timeout. Guys, your thoughts?
You know, this is a timeout maybe just so they can pat each other on the back because no other reason to call it.
Well, they're really just being conservative, making sure they don't make any last-minute mistakes, I guess. I mean, I have no idea. No idea.
McDermott, he connects.
And this is going to be a fantastic result for them. No win on the road comes easy.
Not in the NBA, they don't. And trust me, they're going to take a little extra pleasure in this win, having silenced an entire building of hostile fans.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Jimmy Butler.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there. but he was on fire.
Well, you know when Butler's on the court, he's going to come at you.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game.
You took 20 shots with Kawhi. Made 9. You had 20 with him.
Oh, it's called sledging.
What?
Sledging is smack talk back in the day.
Oh, is that what Dad said?
Mm.
Okay. I took 25 threes. I took 25 threes.
25.
Yeah, I made 10.
That's a lot.
You beat me in points in the paint. That's something I always win. But it's because I shot 25 threes.
So many threes, man.
Well, I was jacking from half court with Brooks.